Hello, everyone. My name is Danny Vang, and for my cultural values speech, I'll be talking about my Hmong culture as my topic. The three values I choose is collectivism, tradition, and polychronic time of my Hmong culture. So, the first one I'm going to talk about is collectivism, which means a society in which tightly integrated relationship ties extended families and out others into in groups, which means they all come together. So, when my little brother passed away, the funerals are usually three days long. And when that happens, a bunch of people and other clan members will come together and they'll bring like money, food, just to help out at the funeral to support one another and during hard times. And when that happens, a lot of the times they'll stay consecutive days until the funeral is over. So I'm gonna show you guys a picture of what they bring. So these are like symbols of what we call our shapes of hearts and circles in the house. And my brother love roosters and chickens, and they're all made of what we call money blocks of paper boats, but they represent to us as money. And here you can see next one is us burning those papers because they are sent to him in the afterlife, to use as money for himself. So this is a really big part of us when we all come together and help one another out, and it's a really big thing for us. Next, I'm going to talk about tradition, which means, it's to respect and commitment to and acceptance of the customs, ideas, and practices that one's culture and religions, provides. Tradition is a really big part for me and my culture because, every year what we do is what we call is the Hmong New Year. I'm gonna show you a picture. This is my parents dressed in Hmong traditional clothes. Every year it comes in during for Fresno. It will be December, the last week of December. People will gather there, wear traditional Hmong clothes depending on what you like or what clan you're from. There's traditional food. There's traditional things where we call ball tossing, where a male and a female will toss a ball to each other. They go there for customs, rituals, dances, music, and that sort of thing. Other than that, we also, in our tradition, is we don't really like to disrespect our elders. Like there are times when I see my dad and my grandma would talk. My dad would never say no to my grandma or argue or whatever. Like my dad is what I like to be like when I grow up because I've never seen him fight with my grandma, and my dad really respects my grandma being the oldest out of all my uncles. And I'm gonna show you a picture of my dad and my grandma. This is when we threw a big party for my grandma because she is getting old. I respect my dad a lot. This is the first time I ever see him do this to my grandma and actually broke down in front of a lot of people. So this is a tradition for us. We throw big parties for our elders. It lasts till like midnight. Sorry, this is a very emotional thing. Um, but yeah, my it's just a respectful thing for us in our culture. Um, it's We just never say no, or we just never fight with our elders. We always listen with open hearts, and we just obey them without giving them attitude. But hopefully, it goes to pretty much in every culture, I believe. The next one I'm gonna talk about is polychronic time. So polychronic time is like time-oriented culture, which means that it's very flexible. You don't really care about time, but in our culture, it's very polychronic because when we say it starts at 1, but people don't show up till 2, 3, or 4. Like what we call that in my culture is Hmong time. So it's just a joke between us. Like people don't show up until 1 or 2. Even though it says we start at 12 or whatever time it's supposed to start. And here's a picture of polychronic time. We started this at 4 in the morning, and this one still shows is already it's already probably like noon, and we're still cooking, and nobody hasn't showed up yet. Like this is what polychronic time is, and we're supposed to start at 1. A lot of the times I would go out of my way from my work schedule and my school schedule just to help the family out, even though I would be tired that day. Polychronic, for my Hmong culture, it's a very common thing. The similarities and differences I can tell is that we often times is that we put our family and community first before us, and it's a very hard thing to do, but yeah, that's what we do, and it keeps me and my culture connected, and my family and my community, and it's a way that we do our customs and tradition and values. Thank you.